Hey guys, welcome back to the CNL. It's the penultimate week this week, week 11. And today we're going to be going up against the Brampton Ursarings and Coach Wolfman, or just Wolf. This match was pretty important in terms of whether we clinch playoffs or not this week. Wolf is also a potential contender to get to the playoffs as well. But yeah, I think it's just the two of us that are kind of left in contention that have to fight it out. I guess it's Aaron as well, who I played last week. But yeah, this match is pretty important for where I stand in terms of the playoffs. But yeah, so looking at his team, he has a lot of really interesting mons. I think there are a lot of mons that could potentially put in a lot of work against me. Stuff like Keldeo or potentially offensive Blastoise as well, Scarf with Water Spout or something. I'm expecting something like Haxorus as well with the Choice Scarf, or Clefable as a wall. Ursaring is kind of a flyer, but maybe it could come along. Torkoal as well, Rocker, Spinner. And yeah, that's pretty much all with it that I really need to say about his team. I'm going to go into the one that I have decided to build. So starting off with my Zygarde 50%, you may have noticed that I've actually decided to give Zygarde a new card for his sprite on the side, and I've also added the names of the Pokemon in the team builder slides. I think it's just good for convenience sake. But anyway, I have banded Zygarde 50% this week. I was thinking of running Dragon Dance, but he has one of the best Dragon Dance Zygarde counters in his Clefable. Scarf Haxorus is also a bit of a worry, so I decided to go with banded instead. Outrage, Thousand Arrows, Iron Tail, Extreme Speed. Of course, Thousand Arrows really hits his team super duper hard. Like, he only has a couple of mons that can resist it, and I think the real only check to this is Clefable. Torkoal doesn't really count because it's a fire type, and Mega Steelix, I suppose, can kind of check it, but I have Iron Tail for the Clefable. Extreme Speed, obviously, for priority. I could potentially clean with this thing at the end of the game. But yeah, that's Zygarde for the team. Just a really nice, efficient breaker of Pokemon. I have Mega Pinsir as well. His team really doesn't have that much to be able to check it. Swords Dance, Earthquake, Return, Quick Attack. The only real thing that I have to really he has to be able to 1v1 this is Mega Steelix, and I do have EQ on this Mega Pinsir for that over close combat because of the special defense drops, and that also means that I can hit the Torkoal if I need to. But a couple of my mons are kind of built around that. But yeah, I think Mega Pinsir's really poised to put in a lot of work this week. Next up is going to be Tornadus. It's a support Tornadus this week, but it's really super offensive. It's a bit of a strange set. Rain Dance, Hurricane, Defog, U-Turn. You'll see why I put Rain Dance on it later, aside from the fact that I do get guaranteed accuracy Hurricanes. His team is really weak to flying. He only really has Mega Steelix that will be able to deal with it. Obviously Defog to get rid of hazards for Mega Pinsir to come in and clean up, and U-Turn just for momentum and support. Here's the kind of main reason why I decided to run a Rain Dance support Tornadus this week, and that is going to be my Kabutops. This is the moveset of the Kabutops. Excuse the slide in there. I really can't go a single video without making an error in my team building slides. I'll try to be more careful next time. I'm really sorry about that. But I'm finally bringing Kabutops along. Rapid Spin, Rock Slide, Low Kick, Liquidation. This kind of combination of moves hits his whole team pretty hard. The only thing that can really deal with this is the Mega Blastoise, regular Blastoise, and if he wants to bring Squirtle instead, then that's just Baby Blastoise, so yeah, that also deals with it. So Low Kick is, of course, for Mega Steelix, because it's very heavy, and I didn't really want the attack drop from Super Power, potentially. So, Liquidation as well in the rain. If I'm able to get it up, will hit a lot of his team really hard. The only real switching he has to this is potential of Blastoise and then Squirtle, and then Rotom Cut as well. I guess Toxicroak can come in as well against this set. Anyway, moving on to just a Fizdef Sylveon this week. Hyper Voice Wish Protect with Baton Pass as well for momentum. I've been running Baton Pass Sylveon pretty much every week. Hyper Voice, of course, is it's a pretty decent option against this team. He only really has Mega Steelix to be able to switch into it, and I suppose Torkoal. Yeah, I guess Wish Protect with Baton Pass to generate momentum. I could potentially get a Wish off into the Mega Pinsir if I want to. If it's weakened and hazards are gone, then I can potentially drop a Wish into the Mega Pinsir and just wreak havoc again. Yeah, anyway, last but not least is going to be my Scrafty. Knockoff Dragon Punch, Dragon Tail, Super Fang. I'm expecting something like Dragon Dance Haxorus, which is what the Dragon Tail is for. I have Super Fang as well for the Mega Steelix, and Knockoff will be able to just get rid of items. It's pretty standard defensive Scrafty this week. Unfortunately, it is set up fodder for potential Toxicroak. Like it deals with Ursaring pretty well as well, considering that he could be running like a bulky Swords Dance variant, or he could be running just an all-out offensive variant with Quick Feet. But yeah, that's going to be the team. I'll just hop right into the battle. Okay guys, so here is the battle. As you can see, Wolf did bring a pretty different team to what I was expecting. He didn't bring the Mega Steelix, which is absolutely amazing. This team basically Mega Pinsir just goes in on once it gets set up. Banded Zygarde does a lot of work here as well. Potentially, if I get up the rank, Kabutops could be a really devastating mon as well. I think really the monster I have to watch out for are the Blastoise, and I think I really have to kind of stop the Fable, potentially clear Unaware Clef. So yeah, without further ado, let's kind of get into it. So I'm going to go ahead and lead off with my Zygarde because I just want to do some damage with 1,000 arrows. He's going to lead with his Torkoal. I am going to just go for 1,000 arrows. He goes for Gyro Ball rather than setting up rocks, which is a little puzzling to me. 1,000 arrows, of course, does miss out on the kill. Not entirely sure what he was doing there. Maybe he predicted Sylveon to come in or something. But I'm just going to go for 1,000 arrows and knock out this Torkoal. This may reveal to him that I am choice banded, but he is going to bring in his Cofagrigus, and I am going to switch out into my Scrafty, intimidate him down, and he's going to go for the Pin Power Ice, I'm under the assumption. Yeah, I'm just going to go for a knockoff. He brings in the Clefable, and he reveals to be a Life Orb set, which is really good, because that means that I don't really have to worry about this thing anymore, because I'm under the assumption that this is more of a especially offensive set. I'm going to go into my Sylveon to take the Moonblast, and then Baton Pass out into my Tornadus in the hopes of potentially being able to set up the rain for Kabutops. He does go for the Ice Beam. Unfortunately, he does get the Freeze. That doesn't actually really matter that much, considering that I would have probably gone into Zygarde if I wasn't able to successfully get the rain up and just go for an Iron Tail. Luckily, I do manage to land it, and down goes the Fable. So in comes the Blastoise. I'm thinking, okay, what do I switch in? He's just going to go for an Ice Beam. I'm thinking, I just went into my Sylveon. He's going to go for Hydro Vortex, which is a little interesting. I went for Ice Beam on my predicted switch, but whatever. I'm just going to throw up a Wish, go for a Protect. He's going to go for Skull, try and finish me off. I'm just going to get up my Wish health. And I'm just going to go hard into my Scrafty here. He does go for a Toxic, which is a little annoying, considering that this thing could potentially stop Ursaring from coming in. But I am just going to go Dragon Tail and Scowl for the damage. And the damage on the Blastoise means that this is most likely a max HP, max special attack variant without much defense investments, considering that it did about 11%. I was originally thinking it was just max attack, special attack, max speed, considering he already had max HP, max special attack with Fable. But I did the calc, found out that it was just max HP, max special attack, and unfortunately I do drag out the Ursaring. I'm just going to go for a Drain Punch. I do want some damage off on this Ursaring, as he is just going to go for a Bulk Up. And that's really lucky I went for the Drain Punch there, because I find out that I'm faster than it, and I'm able to put it in range of burn before he's able to take me out with a +1 Facade. So that was lucky. Ursaring probably could potentially have put a lot of pressure onto my team, but now I get the free opportunity to bring in my Mega Pinsir. I'm going to go for a Swords Dance because I know I can take an Ice Beam from this Blastoise, considering that it is max HP, max special attack. But he goes for a Toxic, which is even better because now I guaranteed live an Ice Beam and I'm able to kill him with 2 returns. He brings in his Cofagrigus. I'm just going to go for return and take it out. He is going to unfortunately get rid of my Aerialate, but that's honestly fine. I'm thinking I could potentially preserve differential, so I'm going to go into my Sylveon. He is going to go for Hidden Power Ice, I'm under the assumption. No, it was Rock, he said. But he goes for the T-Bolt onto my Sylveon. Unfortunately, I get fully paralyzed. So here I'm just hoping that I can throw up a Wish and potentially 1v1 this Rotom, but unfortunately I do get paralyzed. This does cost me a differential point, but it's honestly not the worst thing in the world because I can just go for an Outrage on this Rotom. He does reveal that it's actually Hidden Power Rock rather than Ice. And 2 Outrages is going to finish off the Rotom, and that's going to be the game. We won, and for the first time in Remoraids history, we've managed to clinch a spot in the playoffs, which is really cool. But unfortunately, I think that might end Wolf's playoffs hopes. Unfortunately, but yeah, it was Hidden Power Rock on the Rotom. He did say that after the battle. I'm under the assumption that it was Hidden Power Ice on the Cofagrigus and then Hidden Power Rock on the Rotom. But yeah, that is going to be the game. Choice Band and Zygarde getting 3 kills. I actually did something with Zygarde for once. Of course, Swords Dance Pinsir getting 2 kills. I knew it would get 2 kills. I knew it would just be able to run house on this team. But yeah, next week I'm going to go up against Stormcaller. I probably won't take that match as seriously, considering that there's a good chance that I play him if I do go into playoffs and I keep my seeding. I'm currently sitting in 7th, I think. But yeah, there's a good chance I do play him. I'm not going to take the match too seriously, considering I've already clinched the playoffs. And yeah, that's going to be it, guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week for the final week of the regular season of the CNL.